Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm sure you've seen from the thumbnail that I got a new car, and it's not this truck. This is Tyler's truck. He's actually working on the motor in the engine room, but I got a personal vehicle that showed up at my house, and I brought it here to the shop so we can actually work on it. And I've done some work to it, and I did not record any of it. I've recorded a couple things. You guys have, might have seen it in the YouTube shorts. But anyways, here it is my 1982 Mazda RX-7 GSL with the 1.1 liter rotary, the 12A. I think that's what it is, the 12A 4-barrel. I don't know a lot about rotaries, but this thing does run. And it's been sitting for 19 years. Put a battery in it, and I had to wire all this mess up right here because someone tore the ignition apart. So now it is wired to this switch panel. So we got main right here, we got fuel pump, headlights, and then start. Now the only issue I'm having right now is that I do not have a working alternator. So I think I'm gonna put a Chevy one-wire alternator on this and call it good. The seats actually came out of a Mazda Miata. I have to do some modifications. That one's not even mounted down. And so basically all the things I did was air compressor or AC, delete all the lines, deleted. And then over here I deleted the smog pump and took the belts off, and look at all this room. And the reason we're trying to make room here is because, bam, we're gonna put, ow, jack stand. We're gonna put this T4 turbo on that car. And here's the plate that goes to that. But I did order a new carburetor because this is just a nightmare of vacuum lines, and we're deleting all that. We don't need it, it's gone. Now we're gonna do something a little old school on this, and we're gonna do a draw through carbureted turbo setup. Now I've never done one. I've actually never turboed a car in my life, but this is what we're gonna do, and we're trying to get this done for the NRHDA or something like that, the diesel drags up in Phoenix next month. And this is going to go in the burnout box. It has a limited slip rear end. If you guys watch the YouTube short, I might actually throw it here in the video just so you can see. But anyways, that is what we're cooking with, and we're gonna take this donut off. Obviously, we're going to actually put, and it sucks, I only have 3 of these aftermarket wheels, but we're taking 2 of these ones, throwing them to the front, putting one in the trunk right in there as a spare. I got wheel adapters coming in to go from 4x110 to 4x100, and I can use Honda Civic wheels, the 4-lug Honda Civic wheels, and I can get a bunch of those for super cheap. So that's the plan for that. We're gonna try to quickly sand and paint the car. I got some decals coming in for it. Randy's hooking me up with some harnesses for the car. The only other thing I did to make this run and drive, obviously I had to bleed the brakes. It's been sitting, wow, it is really coming down right now. Anyways, I had to bleed the brakes because it's been sitting forever. Disc brakes all the way around was super easy. Bled all the lines, cracked all the lines, boom. This thing stops on a dime. I had to replace the master cylinder for the clutch, and it came with a new reservoir, which is really nice. It's a little overfill, that's why it's wet on top. But we bled this to the slave and immediately had a clutch. So this car rips, it runs, drives. We've done 1st to 2nd gear launches. It's not titled or registered or anything, so we don't want to, do too much to it, with it out on public roads. So I actually just got done doing the oil change, new oil filter, new oil in the motor. And if you guys do know rotaries and you guys, are going to ask in the comments, yes, I did premix the fuel with 2-stroke fuel. Or, well, put 2-stroke oil in the fuel. Now, that was the main thing. I was told it needed a fuel pump, and that's why it would not run. And once we got all the electrical going, we realized the fuel pump was working. So we lifted up the car, dropped the fuel tank, and realized it was not pumping any gas out. I had to clean the tank out. The main line to go to the fuel pump was completely plugged. Put it back in the car, filled it up with fuel, fired right up. But it is Friday right now, and I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to be helping Tyler with his motor, probably getting it in his Dakota. And we're going to be doing some work on here. I need to get this dent out so I can open the passenger door all the way. So yeah, I'm going to get these seats pulled out and figure out some brackets to actually mount these guys, and that way I have comfortable seats in this car. All right, everyone, a little update on the RX-7 build. I did get the passenger fender dent out, so now we can actually open this door all the way without it binding up. I got the lap belt installed right here. It's a little Jegs Racing 5-point harness, turned it into a lap belt just for this application for this event. And I will be mounting the the passenger seat soon, probably sometime today. I got all the trim pulled off the car because we're gonna sand and paint it white. And here is the new Chevy alternator that we're gonna be putting on this RX-7. And here's the turbo. We should have the carburetor for the turbo system delivered today, and we'll start fabricating the whole turbo system as soon as that comes in. While I was waiting on parts to come in, I went ahead and started tearing down the old exhaust manifold and heat shielding. Okay, now it's pretty straightforward now I got that heat shield out of here. It's 4 bolts, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then this whole obnoxious heat log comes out. And I don't know if I'm gonna pull it right now because this lift is gonna be needed to use tomorrow for another vehicle. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at this point. I know all of this emissions, cruise control, all this crap needs to come out of here, so I might just go ahead and start tearing all of this stuff out of here for now. And then this will come out. This whole carburetor, all these vacuum lines, everything gone. After I got the carb and intake off the motor, Tyler started to port and polish the intake manifold. All right, guys, a little update of what we got done so far with the turbo build. Tyler ported out the intake manifold. We still have to put a block off plate here and on the end there and finish sanding this out. I came in this weekend and I built this header pipe. I have the plate cut out to the gasket sides. It fit freaking beautifully. This is the first header pipe I've ever made, by the way. But I came in, I bent this pipe on our pipe bender. So yeah, I tacked the flange onto the header pipe and bolted the turbo down so we can mock up what we were gonna need right here to actually put the carburetor box. I actually made this yesterday. Made it out of cardboard first and made it out of aluminum. And basically this is gonna sit somewhere in there. We're gonna weld the flange on top of that and mount the new carburetor there and have a pipe coming in. I did order a 90-degree angle aluminum pie cuts, just like this. Ordered a full 90-degree angle bend. This is all that Tyler had left from his stash. So we might still end up using a little bit of this, but I did order some more. And I ordered 2-inch aluminum pie cuts so we can clock the turbo here and feed it directly into the intake manifold. So I literally have like 24 days to get the turbo system done, new oil cooler on, new oil cooler lines, sanded down, painted white, decals down the side, burnout tires mounted on the rear. Get these, that's gonna be my spare for the front, but I have a donut, rocking on the other side here. So I got wheel adapters to get rid of the 4x110 lug pattern to go to 4x100. And then after that, we just got to slap the Chevy alternator on here. I got to figure out some mounting brackets here to make it line up properly. That way we have a charging system. And for interior, I still need to mount the passenger seat and get some kind of seat belt in here. Randy gave me a 5-point harness, Jegs 5-point harness, which I ended up turning into a lap belt. Just because it's simple. It's a burnout car, it's a drift car. I don't need a full harness right now. But yeah, 25 days left. Let's get her done. What is going on, guys? Here's another day of working on the RX-7. It has been about a week since I've seen my car. I actually had to fill in on a different shift for a guy that's been gone for a couple weeks. So I was not here at all, could not work on the car after work, but I was able to get all the parts that I was needing, and it is Sunday today. We're gonna install all this crap. We got a new radiator, a new oil cooler, we have turbo, feed and drain flanges. I have an AFR gauge and O2 sensor in that box. And it looks like Tyler actually finished fabricating the intake box here, or the carburetor box that goes to the turbo. So we got a little list of stuff we're gonna do today. We're gonna do the oil cooler, like I said. We're gonna do the radiator, put the shroud back on. We're going to work on the intake manifold, get the turbo cleaned up, oil fed through and passed through. We're going to finally tie the oil pressure line from here to the turbo. I actually did, you guys seen the YouTube short, but I actually did add the analog oil pressure gauge to the dash, which actually fit right there in the AC compartment, which I wish it filled up a little more where I didn't have to use the actual bracket, because it kind of looks, you know, kind of looks weird, but yeah. So passenger seats mounted, just need to get a lap belt. Just running lap belts on this car for now. Yeah, here's the intake manifold. So we got to tap and plug this hole and this hole right here, and this should be fully ready to go. I made block off plates for it, that one there and that one there. Oh, and we got to plug off these two lines, so I'll figure out how to do that. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna start getting the radiator, oil cooler, and all that good stuff installed. All right, so I got the radiator installed there, got it fit. It is actually really flush with this, so the hood will shut now. Had to drill a hole there, 2 holes here, 2 holes there. Now, the only problem is I still got to figure out how to get this fan shroud on this. I'm thinking about using zip ties, because there's really, like, you can look all over this fan shroud and to the radiator. There is no way I can bolt that fan shroud to this radiator. Just absolutely no way. So I'm thinking about using zip ties for now until I can figure out the dimensions for the fan shroud bolts on this radiator, and maybe get the right fan shroud to go to it. But now that it's installed, I'm going to hook up the radiator hoses, make sure all that stuff is secured. Then we'll start working on the oil cooler, which is laying on the ground. It's still hooked up on the lines over there. So I'm going to, you know, undo one line at a time. There's only 2 lines that go onto this, but I'm gonna have to steal the brackets off of the old oil cooler and mount them somewhere right here. Oh yeah, there's holes right there for the brackets to go on. So there's the new oil cooler. All right, guys, so we're in the middle of editing the video here, and what happened was I had to go work another faraway shift, and I only had 1 day for crunch time to actually get this running and driving. So Colton helped me out and Tyler helped me out, and we ended up making the oil lines for the turbo. We ended up doing the throttle plate here and a couple other things, buttoning it up. We had to get a radiator hose to go straight into the intake there just to get it running and driving. So after all that, you will see the results of what happened next. Now that we had the motor running, we just had to test out the car. After we had our fun at the shop, it was time to make some adjustments and button up the car for the show up in Phoenix, Arizona.